Are you feeling stuck in a relationship that's slowly suffocating your dreams and making you question your worth? You're not alone in this struggle. Millions of people are trapped in what researchers call unhappy paralysis, knowing something's wrong but feeling too scared or confused to act. The solution isn't trying harder to fix what's broken. It's actually learning to recognize the sign that it's time to choose yourself. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nidhi Kapoor. And before we carry on with this video, I've got a small gift for you. In the description box below, you'll find a free guide to how to live your best life. So feel free to download. Now let's carry on with this video. You know that sinking feeling when you wake up next to someone and feel completely alone? That's your soul trying to tell you something important. Your heart is screaming that something's wrong, but your body just lies there frozen. You stare at the ceiling, wondering how you got here. This is what psychologists call unhappy paralysis, and it's way more common than you think. You see, unhappy paralysis happens when you know deep down that your relationship is broken, but you can't seem to move forward or backwards. You're stuck in this weird middle ground where you're too scared to leave, but too miserable to stay happy. It's like being trapped in quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you actually sink. And here's the twisted part. This paralysis actually becomes addictive. Your brain starts treating the familiar pain like an old friend. Sure, you're miserable, but at least you know what to expect tomorrow. The unknown feels scarier than the known suffering. You'd rather deal with the same fight, the same disappointments, the same emptiness, than face the terrifying question of what comes next. Your mind plays tricks on you too. It whispers that leaving would be wasteful because look at all the time you've spent together. 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years down the drain. Your brain calculates all those anniversaries, all those shared moments, all that emotional investment. It tells you that walking away now would make all that pain meaningless. And this is called the sunken cost fallacy, and it destroys relationships every single day. You are basically throwing good years after bad years because you can't accept that the time you've already lost is gone forever. It's like continuing to pour water into a bucket with a massive hole in the bottom, just because you've already wasted so much water. The fear of being alone hits different than the fear of staying miserable. Being alone means facing yourself without distractions. It means sitting with your thoughts, your dreams, your disappointments. It means eating dinner by yourself and not having someone to text throughout the day. That loneliness feels infinite, while the relationship pain feels manageable because you've survived it this long. But here's what really messes with your head. You see, after years together, you start losing track of who you are without that person. Your identity becomes so tangled up with theirs that leaving feels like losing yourself completely. You can't remember what you liked before you met them. You can't imagine making decisions without considering their opinion first. The thought of rebuilding your entire sense of self from scratch feels rather overwhelming. So every day you stay frozen in this paralysis, your real self gets buried a little deeper. Your dreams start feeling like fantasies. Your opinions become echoes of theirs. Your confidence shrinks until you can't trust your own judgment anymore. The person you were before the relationship becomes a stranger, and the person you could become feels impossible to reach. And here's what nobody tells you about unhappy paralysis. Recognizing that you're in it is actually the first sign your relationship is already over. Your subconscious mind figured it out long before your conscious thoughts caught up. That sinking feeling when you wake up, that's not depression or anxiety. That's your inner wisdom trying to save you from drowning in a relationship that's already flatlined. But paralysis isn't the only sign your heart is trying to send you messages. There are other warning signals that your soul is slowly suffocating, and they're probably happening right under your nose. Have you ever caught yourself pretending to be someone else just to avoid another fight? That's not love, that's survival mode. When you start changing who you are just to keep the peace, your soul is sending up emergency flares. These aren't just relationship hiccups, they're warning signs that your authentic self is getting crushed under the weight of someone else's expectations. You see, most people brush off these early warning signs as normal relationship stuff. You tell yourself that all couples compromise. Everyone has to adjust their personality a little bit, right? Wrong. There is a massive difference between healthy compromise and slowly erasing yourself to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. You see, your inner self knows the difference, even when your rational mind tries to explain it away. The mask wearing, it starts small. Maybe you stop sharing certain opinions because they always lead to arguments. Or you laugh at jokes that aren't funny. You agree with decisions you actually hate. Before you know it, you're wearing what feels like a first impression suit every single day around the person who's supposed to love you the most. You can't relax into your natural personality because it might trigger their criticism or disappointment. Constant criticism disguised as help becomes your daily reality. They point out your flaws under the banner of wanting you to be better. Your cooking needs improvement. Your career choices seem questionable. Your friends are bad influences. Or the way you handle money is irresponsible. Each critique chips away at your confidence until you start believing you really do need fixing. You stop trusting your own judgment and start seeing yourself through their disappointed eyes. Your opinions get overridden so often that you eventually stop having them. When you suggest a restaurant, they shoot it down. When you want to watch a movie, they pick something else. When you express excitement about a new opportunity, they list all the reasons it won't work. Slowly, you stop suggesting anything. You stop wanting anything. Your spirit gets quieter and quieter until it barely whispers anymore. The isolation creeps in gradually. You start avoiding friends because explaining your relationship feels exhausting. How do you tell people that your partner controls the social calendar? How do you admit that you can't make plans without checking with them first? It's easier to just say you're busy, right? Your social circle shrinks because maintaining friendships require energy that you simply don't have anymore. You're too drained from walking on eggshells at home. Your dreams get put on hold so many times that they start feeling selfish to even consider. You wanted to go back to school, but the timing never seems right. You thought about starting the business, but they need your support right now. You used to paint, write, or play music, but somehow there's never time anymore. Your goals become background noise when their needs take center stage. Eventually, you stop believing your dreams are even possible. And here's the truth that nobody wants you to face. When you can't be yourself in a relationship, you're actually not in a relationship. You're just trapped in a performance that's slowly killing your soul. Love doesn't require you to become smaller. Real love celebrates who you are, not who you could become if you just fixed all your flaws. These internal signs, they're just the beginning. There are external patterns that reveal even deeper truths about what's really driving your choice to stay trapped. What if I told you that the real reason you're staying isn't love? It's 3 specific fears that have hijacked your decision making. You think you're making choices based on what's best for the relationship, but you're actually making choices based on what scares you the most. These fears are so powerful, they can override logic, intuition, and even your survival instincts. You see, smart people stay in terrible relationships all the time. It happens to friends, family members, maybe even yourself. Everyone looking from the outside can see it's toxic, but the person inside keeps making excuses. This happens because fear is actually more powerful than love when it comes to relationship decisions. Fear drives behavior in ways that love never could. Love inspires and motivates, but fear, it controls and paralyzes. So, what are these fears? The first fear is abandonment. This one goes deep, usually starting in childhood when someone important left, died, or couldn't show up consistently. Your brain learned that being alone equals danger. So, it will accept scraps of affection rather than risk total rejection. You'd rather have someone treat you poorly than have no one at all. This fear makes you believe that any relationship is better than no relationship. Abandonment fear shows up as overgiving until you're exhausted. You cook their favorite meal, buy thoughtful gifts, remember every important date, hoping that if you just love them enough, they won't leave. You become a people pleaser, agreeing with opinions you hate and laughing at jokes that aren't even funny. You accept treatment from your partner that you would never tolerate if a friend acted that way. Your standards disappear because having someone feels more important than having someone good. The second fear is suffocation. This one might actually surprise you because it looks like the opposite problem. You see, people with this fear love you but can't seem to stay close. They are not mean or heartless. They are terrified of losing themselves completely. Every relationship feels like it might swallow their identity whole. So they fight for control and emotional distance to survive. Suffocation fear creates that confusing push-pull dynamic where your partner wants you but can't fully commit. One day they're planning your future together and the next day they just need space. They love you on Tuesday but they feel trapped by Wednesday. You're left wondering what you did wrong, but it's not about you. They're battling their own internal terror of disappearing into the relationship. And the third fear is starting over. After years with someone, the thought of rebuilding your entire life seems overwhelming. You'd have to find new routines, new friends, maybe a new place to live. You'd have to learn how to be single again, how to date, how to trust someone new. The practical challenges feel enormous, but the emotional ones, they feel impossible. Starting over means admitting that all those years weren't building towards something beautiful. It means facing the reality that you chose wrong, stayed too long, or ignored all the red flags. It means potentially being judged by friends and family who warned you. The unknown future feels scarier than the known misery because at least you've proven you can survive with what you're currently living. Once you identify which fear is driving your choices, everything changes. You can finally make decisions based on what you actually want instead of what you're afraid of losing. You stop reacting to old wounds and start responding to current reality. Understanding your fears is powerful, but there's one final truth that changes everything about how you see your situation. And here's the hardest truth you need to hear. Your relationship isn't dying. It's already dead. And you are the only one who can decide whether to keep performing CPR on a corpse or finally let yourself grieve and move towards life. Stop trying to resurrect what's gone. Write down which of the three fears resonates most with you right now. You see, naming your fear is the first step to reclaiming your power over your own choices. You deserve a relationship where you can breathe, dream, and be yourself. Recognizing these signs isn't giving up on love. It's finally choosing to love yourself enough to demand better. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it and it helped. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care.